Hi everyone, welcome to NanoElearn and back to Python tutorial series. In our previous session, we have learnt about how we can use lists in Python programming. In today's session, I will talk about how to use tuples and sets in Python programming language. Before that, make sure to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever new content is uploaded. If you would like to know about complete information on tuples and sets in Python programming along with a practical demo, please watch this video completely till the end. Let's get started. Introduction to Python tuples. These are standard data types like lists used to store values in a sequence. These can store multiple items in a single variable. A tuple is one of the 4 inbuilt data types in Python. It is a collection that is ordered and can allow duplicate values and are unchangeable. For instance, my tuple is equal to Srini 562 Srini true. Here it will allow duplicate values like a list, but these values are not changeable like we have seen in the list. Items in a tuple are indexed with the first index starting from index of 0 and then index of 1 and so on, like we have seen in the list. Lists are enclosed in square brackets. Also, their elements and size can be changed. Whereas tuples are enclosed in parentheses like round brackets and cannot be updated. Tuples can be thought of as read-only lists. Introduction to Python sets. These are other data type used in Python. These are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Is one of the 4 inbuilt data types in Python to store collections of data. It is a collection that is unordered, cannot allow duplicate values, unchangeable and unindexed. Lists are enclosed in brackets, that is, here we can use flower brackets to store here. Elements in a set cannot be updated. Tuples can be thought of as a read-only list I have just covered. These are some useful information on commands that can be used on tuples and sets in Python. The first one is length function. This is used to determine the number of items in a tuple and a set. By using length of is the set name or tuple name. The second one is type function. Items in a list are defined using data type tuple and list. Here we can use print to know the type of tuple or set. The other functions include constructor functions. A constructor tuple or constructor set are used to create a new set or a new tuple. This is one of the example code to understand Python tuple like we have learnt about the list here. Here I have initialized 2 tuples, a small tuple which has only 2 elements and tup, a tuple which has 5 elements of different data types. As we have seen in Python list, here it also uses the index starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. If you print using the first statement print tup, the complete list is printed. If you use print tup of 0, the first element in the list is printed. The all other operations like I have just covered in the list examples. So we can print like in the list we can print the tuple 2 times. We can also use concatenated list and we can print in the output. So these are some useful URL links. Let us start our practical demo. For this you need to open the Python IDLE. Here as I just covered, if you want to initialize a tuple you need to use round brackets, that is I'm using tup is equal to, I'm using round brackets and I'm initializing values, that is items in this tuple. If you would like to know your tuple which I have just initialized, you can see the tuple gets printed. Now as I just covered, the index starts from 0 for a tuple 2. You can print any element in the tuple. For example, like this, you can also use -1 to print the first element from the last, so and so on. Similarly, we can print a set of elements like we have seen in the list, like 20 and 30 are printed. Similarly, we can also use the negative range to print the values. That is, the values from the last to the first are printed. That is, here if you say -5 to -3, the 10 and 20 are printed. So here these are the values that can be printed. Similarly, we can perform different operations like we have seen in case of list. Here, using the tuple, we can also initialize values. We can also include values of different data types in a tuple. Okay, let us see how this works. I'm adding a string, adding an integer. Similarly, we can store a boolean value. Similarly, we can store a floating point number. Yeah, if you would like to print the tuple again, you can see all the values gets printed. So these is how we can work with a tuple. If you would like to assign, if you would like to change any value in a particular tuple, say if you would like to change the value, like it is here, it says the tuple object does not support assignment here. That is, like we have seen in the list, any item in the tuple cannot be changed. So also we see if it allows any duplicate values. For an instance, I am trying to assign duplicate values. So try to print tuple 3. Let's see, the tuple is allowing the duplicate values. Similarly, we can work with the sets. Say for instance, I'm assigning the set here. Say I'm considering set 1 is equal to, here for a set we need to use flower brackets as I just covered. Say I'm giving some random values. Now I'm trying to print the value of set. If you see here, as I just covered, these are unordered. So whenever we print out the output, we see that the random values are getting printed here because it doesn't follow a specific order like we have seen in the list and tuple. Let us see, we can able to assign any value. We can able to change any value in a set. Say I am trying to change a value. So even here the values are unchangeable. Let us see if it allows any duplicates. Now if you try to print the values just entered, you see that the duplicate values are not entered. It is printing only 11 a single time. So this is how we can able to perform different operations using tuple. So let us see if it allows other data types. Yes, it is allowing all other data types like we have just covered. Now let us see if we can able to fetch maximum and minimum values from a particular set or tuple. Yes, we can do that. Similarly, we can perform sum operation on the set of numbers that are part of the set or tuple. Let us see how this works with tuple case. Yeah, we can print the sum here. We can fetch the maximum value in a tuple. We can fetch the minimum value in a tuple. So these are, we can perform all these operations. Similarly, we also have type function. We can do, if we want to know the type of particular tuple or set, it will print using the type function. We can see that it got printed. Similarly, let us see one more example, like if you want to know the type of a function like this. Here, if you see here, it is printing C because it is of string type here. For instance, if we have assigned a value, say I am considering a tuple t1 is equal to C, I am assigning a value like here, like this. If I print the type of t1 here, let's see what happens. It is printing it as string type, because we know that the tuples or lists are separated by comma separated values. Since there is no comma here, it is treating it as string. Let us see if the other case where I am assigning the value like this using comma separated value. Now let us try to print the type of t2. It says tuple class here because we have separated the string with a comma. So this is how the tuple works. Hence the class tuple is displayed correctly here. So this is how we could able to perform various operations which so far covered using tuple and set. That's it for today's session. Thanks for watching my video. Happy learning. Have a good day.